oxygen city of Ghana, and we will be giving you the reason why Ho is the oxygen city of Ghana as the program was on. So this morning we are here to digest on the Tour de Ghana, how far we've come with it, and what we are expecting next. So I'm here with some gentlemen who will be helping me to actually look at the pros and cons of the championship that has happened so far. As we speak to you now, one cyclist has distinguished himself throughout this particular competition. When I'm talking about Bastin Deity, he is from the Obroni Riding Club. He's actually distinguished himself. He's won 2 out of the 3 days of cycling race that has happened here in Volta region. The other is Deneve Thomas. He has also won 1 of the races. So we'll be looking at all these guys and what athletes or cyclists, I'm talking about Ghana, we can pick from what they have actually done from this particular championship. So I'm flanked here by 3 gentlemen. First of all, on my immediate right is Frimpong Francis. He is a journalist, and also on my immediate left is Jidodo Rubin Ajaho. Jidodo Rubin Ajaho. And then I have Isaac Morton. Isaac Morton, he is the head of the media team with regards to Tour de Ghana. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Right. So let me start with Rubin. Rubin, he is a journalist here. He works with the National Sports Authority. He is in charge of logistics and sports development. So I'll start from him. Of course, this is his hometown, so he's our host. I'll start from him. Rubin, once again, welcome.
Thank you very much, and welcome to Ho as well.
Thank you so much. So Rubin, you have been a part of Tour de Ghana, and you have seen what has happened so far, and the kind of impressions that the cyclists have created in the minds of those who have not taken cycling so serious. First of all, can you feed us in as to what you have seen so far with regards to the cycling championship?
Well, thank you very much again. I think it's been a very good experience for those who are not into cycling, especially those from the Volta region, because you realize that the participation from Volta region was 0. And then in terms of the competition itself, I'm sure the spectators were excited by it, but then competition-wise, so it's a learning experience. I saw the Volta Cycling Federation executives around, so I'm sure that they've taken notes. Good opportunity for us to pick up on that experience. The exposure is something that would offer, I say, an opening to the federation and those who will be interested in cycling. What was interesting throughout the competition was that you notice a number of school kids who were observing. That is an opportunity for them to take interest, and those early interests is so what will build career. You notice that most of the academies or sports training centers, they start with usually kids who pick up the career. So I'm sure that in the next couple of years, this is going to give birth to what we should see as a dominant cycling community. Already, the National Sports Authority, we have made indications that we want to embark on capacity building, training of trainers program, where we'll be training 2 coaches in each district in the various disciplines we need to undertake. So with this exposure, it's going to be a very good opportunity for us to take note of cycling as well as we kickstart the program next year. So as the federation, as the authority, we've learned a lot, and I'm sure the federations too have picked up, and then the youngsters who are around too have picked up. So generally, it's been a good learning experience in the Volta region.
All right, thank you so much, Rubin. So I'll get to Isaac. So Isaac, I have personally not given him an inch when it comes to my welfare, because those of us who are the media personnel following this particular championship, he is our head. So anything pertaining to the media, he is in charge, and I have given him a lot of trouble.
Anything with your stomach?
I'm telling you, including my stomach. Yes, it's true. It has to. I have to fall on him. So let me first of all also get his view. Isaac, you have masterminded the guidance of the media with regards to the coverage of the Tour du Ghana. And so far, what is your view on the competition so far?
First of all, I would love to congratulate my media friends. They have played an instrumental role in covering the Tour du Ghana. If you look at our Facebook pages or our social media pages, you could see that all the pictures and videos there were covered by our extreme media people, and I would love to congratulate them for the massive work they have done. We have not done yet, but the race will end on Sunday, but let me congratulate them for the good work that they have done so far, especially the commentary. Running commentary for about 2 hours is not easy, but you always find some good ways to go with the motion, how the cyclists ride on the road when they are doing the U-turn climbing, all the fantastic words that you have been using during the commentary. I'd love to congratulate you on that. But my view on the races, it has been quite good from the one. You could see that the Europeans have dominated the race, especially Bastien Daite, who have won 2 stages so far. And I followed them on the first day from Ho to Fume, and you could say that one of the Burkinabe cyclists was challenging Bastien, but after the curve, he lost his pace, he lost his endurance. So I think some of the cyclists came well prepared, especially the Netherlands, Belgium, and Timo Bruni. But when you look at Timo Bruni, the strategy that they brought, especially when they are on the peloton, you could see that they work as a team. You could see the first cyclist, the second, the third, and you could see that they are in a row. So whenever another cyclist is trying to overtake the first place, they try to attack and then close the gap. So they came with a strategy, and that strategy is really working well for Obroni. That's why you could see Bastien dominating the stages. He won the first stage. Yesterday, the stage 4, he also won it. But when you look at Thomas Deneve, I was really surprised because during the race, I never thought he could win it. But when he was during the finishing, you could see that the endurance was in. He put in a lot of effort, a lot of pace to win the stage 3 of the Tour du Ghana. So overall, I think the Europeans came with a strategy, and then the strategy is really working for them. But when you talk about the Africans so far, Burkina Faso have impressed. I think the stage 3, 3 of their cyclists came through, and you could see that they also won some. They also won some stages over there. But I'm a Ghanaian, and I would love to speak to my friends, my cyclists. So far, so good for the Ghanaian cyclists, especially Victor Kujo. And then yesterday, Prince Kudofia, who won the overall best Ghanaian. He was the first Ghanaian to finish the race, and then the others follow. So I think they prepared well. Some of the cyclists went to Burkina Faso. They came in with a lot of experience. So some of the experience they brought in have really shown in the Tour du Ghana, especially the performance of Victor Kujo and then Prince Kudofia. And then Farrakhan, a young cyclist. He has a lot to learn. He's a young, and he's really learning, and he's really learning fast. Since he's riding for Team Bahati, and they have really fantastic coaches. They really coach him well to get to the standard that he is aiming to be, especially Team Bahati is being trained for the early 2028 Olympic Games. So some of these experiences are really good. Before early 2028, they will gather a lot of experience, a lot of endurance, a lot of pace that will help them to qualify for the Olympic Games. So far, so good. The Europeans are dominating, but I hope that the final stage, the Africans, I would love to see the team Nigeria, Benin, Togo, the Ghana team, Bahati, also winning some of the stages, but they need to work as a team if they want to win the stage, like how the Obroni team they really work well, especially the strategy that they brought in. So on the final day, since the president will be there, if a Ghanaian win the final stage, I'll be happy.
So Isaac actually rooting for a Ghanaian to also win one of the stages. Don't forget that this Tour du Ghana, we have a lot of sponsors who have made it possible for us to come your way with this particular Tour du Ghana. Every single expenditure with regards to the program is being borne by sponsors. MTN is there, Stanbic is there, Strategic African Security Financial Group is there. Astemi, as you can see, my guests are well branded. Horse is also there. We have Trillium, we have the Black Star Line, Dot Alley. They are also there. Every stage of the competition, there is a prize being presented to the athletes who excel in that particular stage, and this prizes which are being taken care of by our sponsors. So let me get to Frimpong now. Frimpong has also been with us throughout the tournament or the championship. In fact, myself and Frimpong, we've always been sitting in the bucket of the pickup that follows the cyclist. That particular pickup is solely meant for the media, and the kind of sometimes the fear that you go through, you have to hold it hard, especially negotiating the curve. And we've been through it till now. Frimpong, let me first of all say well done to you, or in fact well done to ourselves for coming this far with regards to the tournament. Let's dwell on yesterday's tournament, particularly what we saw yesterday. What will you say about yesterday's race?
Thank you very much, my brother. I think first of all, let me once again commend the organizers for such an event. That is the Ghana Cycling Federation, and that of the Ghana Olympic Committee, the National Sports Authority, the Ghana Tourism Authority, and all the sponsors who made this championship a reality. Now, to your question concerning yesterday's event, you see, yesterday's event happens to be a repeat of day one. That is on Monday's trip that day two, that we arrived from Ho to Fume. That is an 80-kilometer distance race. So if you compare yesterday's one to that of day two, you realize that the day two race, they were not familiar with the road, even though we were having a perfect good road network, no potholes, and then you could see some students came troop out from their classroom just to stand by the roadside and then be cheering up our riders up. So if you ask me about yesterday's event, I would say that yesterday's event was a bit smoother than that of day two, because the cyclists were so much familiar with the road, where the curve is too much sharp, where the curve is not all that sharp, where there's a ramp, where there's no ramp. Now they have become more familiar with the road. So we had, in fact, a smooth journey yesterday when it's coming to Tour du Ghana Stage 4 yesterday. So if you ask me, that is what I would say for now. And then just a bit on the Volta region, the region itself. I will once again commend the Volta region, the Voltarians, the kind of hospitality that they are giving to us so far. It is so much enormous that I want to thank them so much. You can see when we are riding, you get to a stage where you see some beautiful mountainous views, and then they have so much interesting tourist site that we have seen so far as far as this Tour du Ghana 2025 is concerned. So I want to once again thank the Voltarians, especially the people of Volta region, the kind of hospitality that they have given to us so far. Thank you so much for so far the kind of hospitality that they have given to us.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, Frimpong Francis. So Frimpong has actually digested that of yesterday. So very soon we'll be going for a break, and when we go for the break, we will be having another set of personalities. But before we go for the break, we are still looking at the entirety of the championship. But Isaac, you touched on Ghanaians with regards to their performance in the race. Let's dwell on just the Ghanaian cyclists. We have three different groups of Ghanaian cyclists. We have Team Ghana, we have the Greater Accra Cycling Club, we have the Bahati Cycling Club as well. And so far, it looks like, from what I have here with regards to yesterday, the only Ghanaian who came so close, that's Prince Kudefia from the Bahati Cycling Club. He won the Ministry of Sports and Recreation overall best Ghanaian cyclist. And then we have Farrakhan Shaban. He also won the overall best Ghanaian youngest cycle. And then that's a prize from GOC, Ghana Olympic Committee, the jersey. He won that particular jersey. Now, there is one particular worrisome aspect. Even though the whites didn't come with women, we seem to have a few women who have been doing cycling in this country. But when it comes to competition, we don't see them. We don't see them. Maybe you are close to the Ghana Cycling Federation, so you have an insight of why that. If you can feed us about that.
Well, one is some issues are very confidential, not meant for the cameras. So I think we can talk backstage, and then we can talk about this. But this is not meant for the cameras. Yeah. So
you tell us about the performance of the Ghanaian cyclists so far. But with regards to the female cyclists, our senior most journalists will be coming in to talk to us about this. So you tell us what our Ghanaian cyclists should learn from the whites who came on board.
Yeah. For one thing that I've seen from the whites, one, the strategy, and then two, the passion with which they ride. Yes, and then the kind of energy that they bring into the race. I'm not saying our Ghanaian cyclists don't have it; they do have it. When you look at their results in Burkina Faso, it really went well for the Ghanaian team. But there could be some reasons why we may not be seeing the kind of performance we saw in Burkina Faso in the Tour de Ghana. And one thing, maybe it could be the kilometers and then the road, because when you look at the Fume road, climbing the mountain, it's not easy for a cyclist to climb a mountain and then descend. So there are some cyclists who are climbers, they can really climb well. So I think the route may be a factor for our Ghanaian cyclists, especially climbing the Fume, and then the power. And then one thing also is the kind of bicycle they use. You could see that there's a difference in the bicycle they use. When you look at the bicycles that the white uses, you could see that the difference is huge. You could not see any wires around it, but when you look at our cyclists, the kind of bike they use, the federation is doing their best to get one of the best bicycles for our athletes, maybe at least 3 or 4, so that they can be able to compete, not to participate, but to compete in other championship or competitions that will maybe help them to win a stage. Talking about Team Bahati, that is Team Bahati / the ACN, is the African Cycling Network satellite. This team is being prepared for the early 2020s, so this is really an opportunity for them to build upon their endurance, their pace, and then increase their training if they want to qualify for the Olympic Games or make an impact in the Olympic Games. This team is very young, so by the time it will be 2028, they will have gathered a lot of experience going into the Olympic Games. And when you look at Prince Kudufia is very good cyclist. I'm not saying they are not, but all of them are very good cyclists. Prince Kudufia, Victor Kujo, Farrakhan Mohammed, Solomon Tego. These are really good cyclists, but preparation counts, and if you prepare well, you can make a difference. And then endurance, I tried riding a bicycle from the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park to the Independence Square. It wasn't easy, so riding a bicycle is not easy, but they have taken it as their job. So a lot of preparation goes into Tour de Ghana. If you prepare well and if you go in as a team, then you can make a difference, as we have seen Obroni and the Belgium team and then the Netherlands. They came in, you could see the strategy that they brought in. The peloton, you could see Obroni. And when other countries trying to overtake them, they launch an attack to block. So teamwork counts a lot. So I'm hoping that in the next race, we could see our Ghanaian cyclists with the teamwork, maybe be in a peloton. When one is trying to overpass the other, then they also launch an attack to cover up for the Ghanaian teammates. So I'm hoping I could see this in the next race. And then the endurance, it's not easy, but you have to put in a lot of effort to win a stage. So as they are in their hotel right now, I believe they'll be going for a ride to build upon their endurance, to build upon their pace, so that in the next stage they can make a difference. And then I also love to thank the federation and then our sponsors for coming on board. Without them, we cannot make this thing possible. And especially the kind of logistics that they have given to us, the kind of money that they have given to us to support the Tour de Ghana. And then the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, Ghana Tourism Authority, and every sponsor that have come on board to sponsor the Tour du Ghana. We thank them very much, and then they are hardworking media for the massive work that they have put in. And somehow I'm really come to cycling in Africa, but I think maybe they are not familiar with the stage, or they are not familiar with the route, especially the Fumi route. Really difficult to climb the mountain, but when you are descending, it's really easy. So I'm sure that's why they were able to make it in yesterday's. I think the first race, I think one Burkinabe came across the finishing line, and then yesterday 3 of them came through. So congratulations to Burkina Faso. We hope that other African countries can make an impact in the next race.
Thank you so much, Isaac Martin. He has actually done justice to the Ghanaian cyclists who were not able to perform. But for now, we'll be going for a break. We'll come back to run up the second section of the discussion. And when we come, we'll be having our guests. That is, he is one of the traditional divisional chief of this town, and he will be telling us more about this time. So stay tuned in and don't go away. We'll be back.
At the bar Helios Care Center. A higher treaty conditions be to say obi a wanya spondylosis. Obi a which
we have the Black Star Experience .ale. We have Akwemufi Jersey, Akwemufi also, Stanbic Bank, Verna, GOC, Ministry of Sports and Recreation, Strategic African Security, and then we have Ghana Tourism Authority, Prudential Insurance, and then Trillium also is on board together with MTN. Don't forget that the president of the nation, that's His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, is so much interested in this particular championship. So we are in for the second and final round of our media engagement, and I have with me here that's Sami Haywood. He is a senior journalist when it comes to sports in Ghana. I also have here Nathaniel Latte. He is also a journalist. And then I have Togbi Adabra, divisional chief of Bledi Tongo, also with me here. Gentlemen, you are welcome. So first of all, I'll start with Togbi Adabra, and we'll be looking at Togbi Adabra will be giving us more insights with regards to tourism in the Volta region, why this thing was actually, the championship was actually brought to the Volta region. Toby, first of all, let me start with you. What does this cycling championship mean to the people of Volta, especially those of you from Afajato?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Afajato and the surrounding areas, especially the Hohwe municipality, is a tourism hub. There are a number of different tourism attractions in that hub. So when you talk about tourism in the Volta region, that is we are kind of overblessed in that area. And that's the reason why, well, it's called a Tour du Ghana. And then you're talking about tourism. So it matches, and it makes sense that our area is also featured when it comes to that. And that means a lot. And the implications are vast and go far in terms of what highlighting tourism and the development of tourism in our area can do for our people in that area, and the prosperity that the potential prosperity that can bring to the people in our area. So headline, that's the meaning, that's the significance of bringing the Tour du Ghana to our area around the Afajato area.
All right. Thank you so much, Togbi Adabra. So he has given us an insight of why they are so excited with the Tour du Ghana coming to their region. So let me go to Nathaniel now. Nathaniel has been one of the men behind. He's one of the men behind the scenes that we have not been seeing so much with regards to our coverage, and he's on the set this morning with us. Nathaniel, tell us briefly your view on what has happened so far with Tour du Ghana.
Yo nakan eshe be mi ha mo fe moni amotone ke won ye be ojiku won banye ne manye kenje ni ji Maxdale Hotel ye ho ni amni maka ke Tour du Ghana ni fe mo ne ni ji cycling event ne etelojuba ni ejinoko ni isake wonye wakawa wale fen afise koni dake da enye bano keji mawie kechone ken event ne no inanle yake ekomefe mo no mili wale yo ejake kokwe meni German seke ba ekumentam Austria, Germany ke agbene Netherlands amefe ekome ni ameform obroni team amekwa compete fefel no na ke ame ekpon wa de nche ejake keji okwe keje jufo ke bagbe ni jinye jufo blofo men keji akogon amenyo amekolo jugba na meklekio ona ke wo Ghana bi ke wo medigen crew ko me won dominate yemi niji Wednesday le hu ona ke aya straight road ikashi akogon ona ke ame dominate obana ke mo fe mo ke heni ehwale niji strength yo shi maka ke fence lopi fite wonu wokwe bon ba fi ni keji bale wo mane cycling ne wo hu obanye wakaya world wona mi ke best youngest cyclist ke ekrokmen, but I think it is not enough ke ba here me anya bami koni awu niji cyclist ne obon ni amenye amefi koni enye session fi boni washe o keji obi mi njomo chomo and again ni fi mo ne e ya lojugba do one or two each ko machine first shian mensan yemi o nyoka ke aba fi no koni na gbaba ma wi no ko fi o keji wo bale tourism le hun ina ke EFL wa de nche keji oba onani bi kru ko me ke o fangbe po ni I think you're on a stretch of 10 kilometer. Every 1 kilometer no baya ni bi shortly obana mane mi ko te fiu solo ni bi no na ona gojin ke krokume ni ona ke blofo men amemi e shame ya ke men kume amena ko ekodan keje no sele hu keje oba igbe ma mi ni ji culture ne ke ni fe mo ne e wana promote tourism ke culture e wo culture le hu mane mi mba nu lala ikome ni nu kodan ekoji bobo ke krokume fe no ma ke obashi sponsors akono koni next year me abami feneken ni efi tekno shinye na gbakome e abalake ye bemi neken sa ne le machine ewulu ekoni ke bami koni le denche inye shake iba ta ifiu chia yo komi le hu bam niji Abigail Tete All African Games ifata yiku le hu iba wa ni neke occasion etelojugba mo ma ke minda federation nation especially general secretary niji Wache Shaban Mohammed ake an event ne ke me crook mani fata here if he successful oko bi me no fi ni yo wi mo ni fi mo ne.
Right, thank you so much, Nathaniel Lati. So let me give you just a brief translation of what he said. He actually patted the organizers or their back for organizing this, and he also made mention of Ghanaian cyclists who were not able to excel that much in the competition, and he was so much particular also when it comes to tradition and then the where we are. He actually said a lot about the Volta region and how they have kept their surrounding very serene for us to enjoy our stay here. So basically, that's what he said about the Tour du Ghana happening here. So I have Samuel Haywood Okai. This man is an all-rounder in sports. Cycling, badminton, tennis, volleyball, whatever. He says he's retired from covering football. So, for football, it's a general thing for him, just as his name depicts. General, welcome. And I actually asked Isaac Morton a question which he was not ready to answer. He says I should leave it to you, which Latte has also expressed that view on about women not participating in this particular championship. Why? Maybe you have the answers to that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paka. You know, I've not retired from football. You know, we go to the World Cup, but the World Cup will be there. Okay, thank you very much again. You know, concerning the women, there was only one lady, that is Abigail Tete, who was there. And she didn't participate, she didn't compete. And no, because there were no other women there to compete with, that's the first reason why she didn't compete. Because, you know, and this was too, it's so easy, this particular competition, because there were hills and valleys, with a woman going with a man, and we don't know whether she can fall. So, prevention better than cure. So, prevented her from participating, so that maybe if she falls, there'll be. Even yesterday, one Belgian fell. It was very sad, you know. So, I have to wish him speed recovery wherever he is now. So, I can say, you know, I'm one of the directors of the Women in Sports Association of Ghana. Yeah, I'm one of I'm the only man in that association. Yeah. So, maybe that's why they are giving me all the women questions. But I can say, so far, what I say, so far, so good, so far, so better, so far, so best. That's the slogan we had yesterday at the place. It was very interesting. And like I said, that we have learned so many things, and we should keep on. One thing that I learned from that place is that the foreigners were saying that we should be consistent in organizing more competitions. So there should be more competitions. If there are more competitions, maybe 10 in a year, every month we do one competition. It will catch the interest of the people, and many people will be involved in cycling, and there will be more sponsors. And one thing is that the sponsors, even one of the sponsors in Accra, one of the sponsors said we shouldn't call some of the sports lesser known sports, because if we call them lesser known sports, they'll give us less money. So we should call it sports.
So
sports.
We understand the other day at the press conference, the GOC office, that the lesser known sports that we call, we should call it competitive sports. That's what they said.
No. Not even competitive, because every sport is competitive. Every sport is competitive. So let's call it sports. It's sports. That's it. Sports. Finish. Because if you go to America, USA, baseball, basketball, they are all big sports. If you go to Japan, baseball and other sports, they are all very big sports. So Ghana, we shouldn't call other sports less and other sports big or high. No. We should stop doing that thing. At times some mentality, some inferiority complex. That's what we have. It's inferiority complex. Let's don't have that inferiority complex. And about the media, we do football. Let's balance all the sports. No, not only football and boxing. I mean, I'm a big boxing fan, but not only boxing and football. Let's have the other sports, cycling especially. You know, I started covering cycling in the 1990s. Can you imagine? 1990s, not 2009. 1990s. I'm a legend. I know I'm a legend. You see, so we should balance all the sports, and this gives me thanks to the swag, also Association of Ghana. You know, they should try and educate the members or journalists in Ghana that at times we should specialize. Everybody is doing football. Nobody is specialized in maybe basketball or handball or volleyball or cycling. There are only a few people who just come in, then they go. They come in, and they don't learn the jargons or the terms in the sports. Every sports are the same. You know, yesterday, or me, I know already that if there's a batch of cycling going on, it's called peloton. Peloton. I have some terms like breakaway or solo breakaway. Yeah, that's when one. Like that's it.
When cyclists position themselves behind each other in anticipation to overtake them, they are in a draft. Yes, that's one of the terms.
So there are many things out, and you know there is this Tour de France. Tour de France is a big competition that people can also go gain experience, even travel. You know, journalists love to travel. So if you cover more cycling, you can get a chance to travel to France. You know, so there are many opportunities in the lesser known sports, rather, or how we call it. You know, so let's not call them lesser known sports. Let's not call them every sport is a sport, because if you call it lesser known sports, if you go to the sponsor, they'll give you less money. You see the thing? So let's not go and collect money. And for this, I thank all the sponsors, like we are all saying. I have to thank all the sponsors for all they have done. In fact, it's very, very nice. It's very, very nice that MTN and Co have come on board. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
Thank you so much, Sammy. So let's get back to Togbe Adabra. We're looking at the developmental aspects of the sports to our environment or perhaps our health. What do you make of the development that we can gain from these sports competitions that we organize? And also, I want you to touch on one particular thing. Why do you call the Volta region the oxygen city of Ghana?
Okay, first of all, the number one thing we all need in life is our health. Yeah. And to be healthy, we have to be moving. We have to move. If you're staying in one position, if you don't use it, you lose it. So we need to use our bodies. Need to move our bodies to be able to be healthy. So that's the number one thing, and that's where sports comes into it. Regardless of whichever sport it is, you are moving your body and you are making yourself healthy. So that's the first bit. And then you are available, you are around. So then you can do other things and develop yourself in terms of wealth and creation and being creative and doing things and bringing on people and looking after more people and spreading yourself. So that's where the development, that's where the human development happens. Then when we come to Ghana in general, we all know right now it's everywhere. We have a big problem, and that is the devastation of the natural resources in the country. And when you look at the Volta River, that splits the country. There is the western side and there's the eastern side. And the western side, mostly towards the south and the middle, is being devastated by Galamsey. The eastern side is mostly the Volta region and the OT region and up there, where thankfully and hopefully we don't have those problems and we do not develop those problems. But while we don't, and we have this vegetation and this natural vegetation, I mean, that is what is breathing. The natural vegetation is what is breathing for the rest of the country. So we need to harness that, and we need to make sure that we use that to help the rest of the country in terms of food and in terms of oxygen provision to the rest of the country, while we solve those problems in the other side.